best of 9 with game number 1, starting us off on Belshire Vestige. Let's go take a look at who's playing, because we have, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, one of the absolute stalwarts of the StarCraft 2 scene in Europe since approximately forever. Representing Western Wolves, ladies and gentlemen, this man needs no introduction. It is Morrow. And he's going to be facing off against someone who looks like he just had a seizure on his keyboard. A very underrated Protoss player from Team Dignitas. Currently working to establish a little bit of a name for himself. Hasn't had the greatest tournament highlights just yet, but is unbelievably skillful. Can he pull one off, though, against his more established opponent? It is DreAm.
So, I just don't know which way this is going to go, to be honest, because it's going to be pretty insane. Because DreAm, he has got such cool builds. I really like DreAm as a player because he doesn't... this is his words, exactly. I don't do things because good, I do things because fun.
Yep.
That is, quote-unquote, what he said to me a couple of weeks ago on Skype, and why he plays the game. And I think that means that you always get more exciting games there, because you can't really predict the sort of things he'll do. Whereas Morrow, he's just a solid player. He's, as you said, been around for ages, and therefore going to do a really... Well, he's got tons of experience, and he's got the spot... 5-Rex Reaper, yeah, indeed. He's and Reapers are now really fast and really good, so that's always fun. But also... Morrow is got the support of a great team with him. Actually, both these players have got support of a great team. So I think with that, we should be having an amazing best of 9 coming up.
I love the way Morrow is explaining what adrenaline is. It's like, okay, it's a drug. You take it as a shot in your heart, and then you wake up, okay? And I'm just sat here thinking to myself right now, I'm going, well, that's a pretty rough early morning routine for Morrow. That's some serious pro gaming house shenanigans going on there. I mean, that's this guy's pretty hardcore, man. I'm not sure I'd want to mess with that.
It's just like his APM currently at the moment is over 9,000, but we'll forget about that. No, of course, Morrow.
If this thing crashes, it's just his APM. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's fine. He's going too fast. It's just the way that, like, I've got this picture now that, like, adrenaline, it only comes in a vial. Like, who cares if you get, like, surprised by a bear when you step outside? Like, that doesn't get you adrenaline. You have to get your syringe out and stab it through your heart just in order to run away in time. But of course, we see DreAm is taking a quick little check around for any 2 Raxes, because of course they were joking about that in the lobby.
Yep, that's right. They were joking about a lot of things in the lobby, actually. But 2 Raxes were indeed one of them, which reminds me, I suppose technically you still kind of owe me a drink.
Yeah, I do technically, because I just said 2 Rax first, didn't I?
Well, and in Skype. But yeah, I suppose a running bet from when we cast Fuser, if it still technically applies, you now owe me a drink.
I do, but having said that, I know quite a few of the ESET UK Masters people owe me a drink for some bets we placed on the WCS EU.
Oh, well, that's alright then. You should just be able to pass that straight on.
I know, it's going to get really confusing though the next time we all meet up, because we're just going to have, like, we're going to have to, like, draw diagrams of who owes who. It's going to get all very confusing, I reckon.
Which is why, in order to solve the entire situation, guys, if you're ever in a situation where many people owe multiple people drinks, the best way to solve such a diagram is to actually head down to the pub and make sure all the slates are wiped clean.
Indeed, in one fell swoop. Even if you have to stay there for a week, just make sure you get it done.
Oh, one moment. I just have a little bit of a sound issue.
I noticed as I heard myself there as well, Jorasar. That is all very cool, but don't worry. I will fill people in on what's actually happening in the game, because that's probably why they're all tuning in anyway. So we see that for the moment, Morrow is getting down 2 additional factories. DreAm has got his natural up quite nicely. We can see that the army is now coming down. So this is going to be mech style in PvP. This is brilliant, as long as you get some ghosts in it as well.
I'm looking forward to a little bit of mech TVP. I can already hear Duckville squirming in excitement. He's a massive proponent of this, as we have a couple of gateways being put down in the natural expansion here for Dignitas DreAm.
I was literally trying to message Duckville on Skype, but he's unfortunately offline, of course, being on the other side of the world. It is probably a very early morning for him at the moment. He's probably just considering eating breakfast, but What we do have coming down for the time being is 2 gateways for DreAm, who tech-wise only has that robotics facility, and it's only producing observers for the moment. So he's getting an awful lot of observers out, clearly a little bit cautious about any drops that could be coming in. And for the moment, there is, well, no risk of drops, because there isn't a starport down.
So the starport, of course, non-existent at the moment. He's focusing, is Morrow, on getting those tanks and Hellbats out as quickly as he possibly can. We see that attack upgrade just starting.
Hellions are in the natural base, Jorasar.
Yeah.
There's a couple of probes getting burnt.
Yeah, this is not looking particularly pretty for those probes at this moment in time. The Hellions do actually get cleaned up, and the number of workers killed from Morrow now is 10. That's going to be a little bit rough. DreAm dropping to 39 workers versus the 42 at the moment, so he's not down by too much, but just imagine what would have been if he had those workers alive right now. So he's going to be kicking himself a bit.
He would have made up for the fact that he didn't have mules.
Exactly.
And mules are pretty good, so if you can negate the effectiveness of those, you're certainly in a happy place. But the starport coming down here for Morrow. DreAm, somewhat on the back foot, but it's by no means unrecoverable. A nice little push, though, from Morrow, just gaining a little bit of map dominance while he gets out his mech force. But DreAm, he's seeing all of this because he has got observers everywhere. He's got so many observers out at the moment.
That's actually a really good point. If we take a quick look at the map vision for DreAm right now, he hasn't quite got the most amazing map vision on his half of the map, but he does have observers in place at the third base, watching whether the army is going to be popping down through the natural expansion, and he can spot the Hellbats from where he is here. He could even move slightly further in and just double check the siege tank count. So DreAm knows exactly what's coming now, so what remains to be seen is how he intends on responding to this mech composition. He's going to be putting down 3 gateways.
3 gateways. He's also got that pylon down at the 3rd position, so he could be looking to try and take a relatively quick 3rd nexus, knowing the Morrow unlikely to be pushing across anytime soon with a mech composition. We've also got the first few Immortals starting to hit the field again. Another good decision there out of DreAm. And Morrow, he's just going to want to sit back and, well, macro.
Yeah, The real issue for DreAm is not just the issue of being able to take his 3rd base early. He has got the Nexus down now as well. But one thing you always have to keep in mind when you're playing against a mech composition is it's a little bit like how Broodlord and Festa used to be in Wings of Liberty, in that even though you have plenty of time to prepare for it, when it hits, it will inevitably hit very, very hard indeed. So DreAm needs to make sure he has his army composition perfect to try and deal with these Hellbats and tanks. And Morrow's going to do his best to disrupt that before he moves out across the map now, with 2 Hellbat drops that are moving both left and right.
And of course, Hellbat drops can be incredibly potent. Has DreAm seen them? Does he have any observers in place? No, is the short answer to that. And therefore, the drop coming into the main is going to do a considerably large amount of damage to this probe line. There are 2 Stalkers there, and the Mothership got instant reactions there out of DreAm. That was brilliantly done there by him.
Yeah, and he also had an Immortal in the mineral line as well, so that really didn't do very much. However, the second Hellbat drop is now going to be popping in at the natural, and the probes are a lot more hemmed in by the gateways here, so they might be able to get a lot more damage done. A little bit more difficult for them to run away, and a couple of them do get fried. We now have the Immortals and the Stalkers popping in. We're going to try and do as much damage as we possibly can. The number of workers killed this game has now gone up to 25 for Morrow, who now enjoys a 30 supply lead over his Protoss opponent, and he's moving out medals.
He is moving out. Now, the one vulnerability this army has at the moment is that it has no anti-air. Unfortunately for DreAm, though, he has no Void Rays out on the field, so will not be able to do anything about that. He is relying completely on these Immortals, on the Archons. There's a lot of SCVs in with this force as well, which is a great decision. And now everything will start edging closer. DreAm is getting isolated between his natural and his 3rd base, which means the Morrow could very easily take that out, and that could be problematic for the Protoss player. A Hellbat drop coming in there to make sure that no probes have any fun.
Yeah, the probes are definitely going to go down at the 3rd base here. DreAm going to try and go around, and I think Morrow has spotted that the army's moved out as well. He's going to be sieging up significantly closer to the natural, and DreAm splitting up his units to try and go for a flank as well. He's going to see if he can 2-pro these tanks. Morrow deciding to unsiege and moves in here. Re-siege is near. DreAm has to do something. He has to do it very, very soon indeed. Otherwise, he's going to be down a lot of probes and 2 bases. He's moving in from 2 sides right now. The Immortal's taking a lot of damage, but he's moving straight into the Hellbats. Even though they don't do extra damage against those Immortals, so much of them are clumped up. And DreAm trying to break through, but unable to do so. The tanks and the Thor, just way too much damage here, and DreAm is going to go down in game number 1.
Yeah, these tanks are just tearing apart. The Thor, just there. The Immortals trickling in. It's nothing you can do in this sort of situation. Once these tanks are here, they start shelling your natural, and there we go. DreAm, GG's out, and game 1.